on going live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So look, y'all, she just recently got into the tech industry, transitioning from real estate into now being an account executive for Yelp, a really, really big, very popular company that all of us are familiar with. Let me go ahead and put it here in the comments so y'all know what it is. Now look, all right, so just kind of go over a few of the quick house rules because we are short on time. For those of y'all that do not know, I'm actually going to be doing a group coaching from 7 to 9 p.m. basically in the next 25 minutes. We're going to be kind of doing like a coaching, answering a lot of different questions, helping people like expedite their process of breaking into tech, as well as scaling in the industry as well. But that's a whole nother thing. What we're talking about today, I actually never even asked you how to pronounce your name. And I know you had told me before when we met last year, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring you on right now. So that way people on Instagram can see you.
Okay.
And so she should be coming on right now. So again, y'all, she transitioned from real estate into the tech industry. So we're gonna talk briefly about her story. What's going on, Notary? So again, y'all, this is gonna be a shorter live than usual. Let us know if y'all hearing any crazy feedback or anything. Let me know in the comments, YouTube and LinkedIn, if y'all hearing any feedback. Same thing for those of y'all on Instagram and the Instagram streets. If y'all hearing any feedback. You said you hear an echo on YouTube? Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing this a kind of different way or a backwards way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. Okay, cool. We're gonna do this strictly just on YouTube and LinkedIn. For everybody on Instagram, those of y'all that want to tune in, we are heading over to LinkedIn and YouTube right now. All right, so. All right, cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. So yeah, we'll just sit here. Since the live is short, I didn't want to spend too much time us practicing or not practicing, but us trying to figure out what's going on. I decided to just kind of jump straight into it because I was going to give this time to you and to your story. And so very excited about this. Is there still an echo? There should be no echo now, y'all. I was about to say because we ain't on Instagram. Okay, cool. All right. Tanya, are you saying there's still an echo? Okay, no feedback now. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. All right. So yeah. So is it pronounced Jamie?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's just spelled. Okay, I was thinking that.
Perfect.
Reading the Bible will get you good at figuring out how people's names are pronounced.
Yep. If you can pronounce those, you're good.
Exactly. All them crazy names in the Bible. So what's up, Tanner? Tanner said here from Instagram. So look, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get into it with Jamie's story. She's somebody she's one of the few people who are in tech that I've had the pleasure to meet a couple times before she actually got in the industry. So that being more often than I meet most people, it feels like I really know her. So I definitely want to kind of dedicate this brief time that we have really to her story. Again, I told you this already, Jamie. Just first off, major congratulations just for you getting in the industry. I'm very proud of you because what I've noticed is that most people that I see, if they don't get in within like the first 6 to 7 months, I've seen a lot of people just kind of give up, or at least they're not hitting me up. And you're one of those people, and there's been a bunch of people that didn't give up, but you're one of those people where you just really stuck to it. I definitely want to kind of ask you to speak about that briefly in a moment. But just overall, it's just dope to see you sticking to it. And what's beautiful is kind of like the last shall be first and the first shall be last, where you got at one of the most incredible tech companies that are just out there, like a really fun, really cool company. Some of y'all saw in the post that she's at Yelp, which is fire. So yeah, so I don't want to spend too much time talking. I definitely want to talk to you more about your story and everything. So congratulations on that.
Thank
Want to
you.
know, so just tell it. I want to let you go ahead and talk. So tell people your story as to what you were doing before getting in tech, what sparked your interest in the tech industry,
Mhm.
and then when did you actually start your journey?
Okay, so I was in real estate. I actually got licensed in 2020 in the middle of chaos. For me, I looked at it as it's a good time to pivot, do whatever I like, try something new. When I got into real estate, one of the things I quickly realized is you need a little capital when you get into real estate. They don't tell you that as a realtor, you're building a business and you come in with a license, but you don't come in with money. And so having access to different technologies and marketing really differentiates the game, the real estate game.
Yeah,
So I quickly was like, this is not it yet,
yeah,
you know. And so I was in that moment where I was still searching for something, and I was looking everywhere, just trying to find information. And I saw you on Anthony O'Neill's podcast, and one of the
uh,
things I really related to with you is you were transparent about what you leverage. People talk about that big break for them, but there was something they had to work with. And so when
yeah.
you mentioned boot camps, I was like, I could do a boot camp. Like, okay, and so I jumped on course career.
Okay, I misheard you. I thought you said at first you were like, I ain't got to do no boot camp, but you were saying at
No,
first you decided
yeah.
to do it. Yeah,
If
okay,
I have to go to school, take a quick course to get to the next place, that's a no-brainer for me.
yeah,
Especially when it is self-paced. I'm busy football mom, 3 boys, doing the real estate thing, doing other things, still doing therapy,
yeah.
as a counselor and stuff. Um, for me, just being able to jump in. And at that time, I was tight too. So I definitely used your discount and I still didn't have the money. And I want to say this for people who think they can't start now. It only took $150 to start because I did a payment plan.
That's
And,
smart.
I said I was going to be done with the course before the payment plan ended. And so I completed it in a month.
That's good. I think it's fire that they allow you to use that discount with the payment plans together. Instead of saying
Yeah.
like you can't do both, they still allow you to have the discount on top of that payment plan. Yeah, for those of y'all that missed it, or just to kind of double down on it, they of course Careers is only 500. It's only $500. With my discount link, or anyone that has a discount link, it's only 449, and but you can do a payment plan that allows the first payment to be roughly $99, and then bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, it's 150, and it ends up being about $550 over the span of roughly 2 months. So that way you can really breathe it out. So yeah, sometimes I see people that they'll be in my DMs and they'll mention a couple boot camps,
Yeah.
and they'll say, "Oh, this is too expensive. This is too expensive," and then I'll mention course careers. And sometimes people say like, I'm like, yo, this is only $500, but sometimes people are like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's still expensive for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I respect it, but I'm like, that's when I mentioned to them the payment plan. And then when people tell me they can't even do their payment plan, I'm like, look, if you're in another country somewhere where the cost, or the transaction, the change of the price or the cost
Hmm.
is different, that makes sense. But if you're here in
Yeah.
the US and
Yeah.
you can pay at least 150 every other week, I'm not gonna say like, you tripping, but I would suggest like, okay, you do something like ride share driving or
Hmm.
door dashing, or something like that. You could make, even if you're just doing it a couple hours in a day, you make an extra 40, 50
Yeah.
bucks every day, and then be able to kind of pay that. And it's well worth it, as y'all can see, like even for
Oh
her,
yeah.
it's worth it. So love it, love it. So uh so when did you actually start the boot camp?
So I started last November,
Okay,
which is
wow.
funny. I start
A
my
year ago,
job tomorrow.
Whoa. See, I didn't even know you didn't start yet. I was trying to kind of wait a little bit, but you start your job
Yeah.
tomorrow. This is low key like a celebration. That's what this is, y'all.
Yeah, this is
I want
huge.
I want to make sure everybody that's watching this, even if you're watching this after the fact, like y'all go ahead, head over to her LinkedIn, show her some love. Her name is, we'll make sure we put in the caption and everything. But for those of y'all that are driving and listening to this, whatever, her name is Jamie. It's spelled Djemie. And what's your last name again?
Marunsi.
Marunsti. Okay, I'm gonna need you to text that over or
Yeah.
DM that over. You already did it over. So we'll make sure we put it in the caption and all of that. So that way y'all go show her some love. That's super huge. So wow. So my question to you is, so you did the boot camp, or you started it roughly basically a year ago.
Yeah.
And it took you 11 months before you landed your role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I've seen you pop into my live. You've seen people get jobs before you finish the boot camp. You've seen people get jobs like right after the boot camp. You've seen people get jobs like, and this been people that didn't even finish course careers. They was like, yo, I got a job. I just decided not to finish course careers.
Yeah.
That entire time you were watching that, I guess, was that making you more discouraged, or was that inspiring you more? Was that making you frustrated? Like what emotionally were you going through at that time? How did you use it to navigate your way to continue going on this journey?
For sure. For me, it was inspiring. The more I saw people getting jobs, the more real it felt, So then I knew it was only a matter of time before I landed my own position. And in the meantime, there was so much information being shared on those lives, and just keeping up just helped me fine tune my job search better and better and try different methods. I was getting interviews, I would say like 2 weeks into the course. So I knew it was very real, and getting to
Yeah.
talk to hiring managers and bombing interviews. Thank God for Shanae, Shanae, recruiter cousin. She gave me the roadmap, that really helped me interview completely different, boosted my confidence. I was
Yeah.
going in there actually having fun on my interviews. And shortly after I worked with Shanae, I locked in
Yeah.
a position. So,
I love it. I love it. I love the community component because
mhm.
I recently had a founder of a tech conference, Cam. Shouts out to Cam and Black Men in Tech and their Thrive conference. And he was recently on the Tech is the New Black podcast. And we were talking about how much it's a community effort right now, where it's like, yo, people can come to Tech is the New Black or come to my page. And usually people come to my page and they learn about the boot camps. People come to Tech as a New Black to learn about the different opportunities that are in the industry and hear somebody break down what their role is. And then people, once they get out there, so they get the education from the boot camp or program, then they get out there. And then if they're having a bit of a tough time, they're able to get that proper training and coaching and refinement when it comes to their interview, their resume, all of that through people like Shanae. And then, of course, other recruiters helping out. And it's like, it's really a huge community thing. And I love it so much because we've heard a lot of talk within like our community, particularly the Black and brown community, but just even amongst us, like within the Black community, where it's like crabs in a barrel or crabs in a bucket, or people want to be gatekeepers or kind of hold like keeping each other down. And I love seeing this, that it's like this happened organically. Like there wasn't a meeting where a bunch of Black people got together and said, hey, y'all, we're all going to join forces and do this thing. It's really one of those things where you can see God aligning people, like God kind of putting people on a mission. And I'm saying this, I want to say this tangent really quickly for those of y'all, whether you're in tech or you're working to get in tech, whatever it is, sometimes God will put a mission on your heart and you will think that it's all on you. And realistically, it's not. It's never all on you. There's a example in the Bible is a prophet Elijah in the Bible. And I mean, for those of y'all that aren't Christians or aren't any part of the Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and you don't believe in like the story of Elijah, that's totally fine. But historically, his story is still true. And Elijah was a prophet where basically he had this huge enemy, which was Queen Jezebel. And we ain't gonna delve too deep into the nitty gritty, but ultimately he had a lot of people that were after him trying to kill him. And he ended up telling God that he was by himself. He was like, yo, God, I'm the only person out here.
Mhm.
basically saying, yo, it's all on me, it's all on my shoulders. But then God was like, bruh, no, you tripping. Like, I got a whole gang of other people
Yeah.
that are still serving me. Just because you don't see them, you're thinking it's all about you. But I'm just telling you to do your part, and I'm gonna connect you with others, other people. It's other people I'm talking to too that I have a relationship with that they're gonna do their part. You do your part, and so I just love seeing, yeah, just the community aspect that we're seeing, where God is
Yeah.
using all of us individually, collectively, to kind of do our parts. So I say that to say I want to put it on you all, those of y'all that are in tech that are getting in tech. One, be inspired to understand that God does want to use you, and maybe it's not about helping people get in tech; it's maybe about something else. But God does want to use you, but at the same time, don't ever be so fearful to think that you have to do it all. Just do the part that you know that you're equipped for, and then you'll naturally see God connect you with the other people that have
Mhm.
those other components. And so I love to see it. I love to see it. So yeah, so
Yeah.
happy you were encouraged by it and not discouraged. And also, that's a good point you mentioned how you were still getting interviews. That's really what you need to see. You need to see,
Yeah.
okay, is this real that I can even get
Yeah.
interviews? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it sidebar, it really, the community carried me because what also delayed me is that my husband got really sick, like
Mm,
really sick. And so I became a full-time caretaker.
yeah.
He's doing much better now,
Yeah.
but that, my attention just went to that. So for
Yeah.
months, I'm just sitting in the hospitals and, going through it. And still watching all the lives, still
Yeah.
hanging in there. And so that really carried me through that time and gave me something to look forward to. And
Mhm.
so going through that experience, I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely need to get into tech because we need to secure this bag. Things happen. We're not promised tomorrow.
And that's so tough. Like, one, you being a mother, and then two, your funds being really low, and then three, something happening to your husband. Like, I want to say this, man, hats off to you, for real, just for, I mean, you carrying so much. Obviously God helped you through it, but just really hats off to you for you being, because y'all know in this today and age, marriage, relationship stuff is so jacked up. So it's really dope to see you being a wife who was, a wife and a mother, who was really there, but also able to kind of work through it and seeing God's hand on you for you to land this role, at yeah, such a dope company. And so you interview with a bunch of companies. You got a whole bunch of no's, a whole bunch of rejection emails, and a bunch of interviews that didn't pan out. What was your reaction like when you got the offer email from Yelp?
The funny thing is, I actually got an offer from another company. And
Ooh,
because of my network, I talked to somebody who went through Course Careers who was working for that company, and we had a very transparent conversation. And I realized that company is not as good as of a match as
mm,
I need.
yeah,
And Yelp reached out. They took a long time before we actually interviewed, so I got another position, and I ended
okay,
up turning it down and going with Yelp because their culture aligns way more with me. It's like it was a no-brainer. I was like, "Oh, yeah."
exactly. The irony is that, the beautiful component about it is that Yelp being and I don't know the official, type of tech company they are, but them being like a review based tech company.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah,
you would think they would have a good culture because their
yeah,
entire business is based off of people
yeah.
reviewing companies and businesses on their culture and on their service.
Mhm.
So I love that. I love that for you so much. That's like super fire. So you got the offer. So what was, I guess, I mean, what was it like though? Like when they, like, what was going through your just really emotionally,
Man, it was surreal. Like, it took me a few days to really take
for
it
it to,
in. Like,
yeah,
no, for real, you're in tech. Like, you just got this job for real. And other
that's
people had to tell me, like, I would tell them, like, I got the job, and they'd be like, you got the job. And that's when I would really hear it. Like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, I said I was going to do it. Here I am. Like, this is
yeah.
happening.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. Yo, that's
Yeah.
fire. Man, so excited for you. And I know you got the offer roughly a month ago because I was going through our
Hmm.
DMs and when you had sent me the offer. And also for anybody that's gotten into tech recently, shoot me a DM on Instagram or on LinkedIn. Let me know. If you've recently gotten into tech anytime in the past like 6 months or so. So that way you can come on because again it's about everybody sharing their story and kind of giving their testimony and stuff. And but that's so incredible. What was your husband's reaction when you told him?
Funny story. He wasn't here at the beginning of this journey. He
Oh
kind of
wow!
came in the middle. Yeah, my husband and I were actually separated for a long time, and
Wow!
then his illness brought us back together. And so he didn't know what I had going on. He
Yeah,
just saw all this tech stuff. So he's next to me, he's hearing your lives, seeing your lives. He saw you when we went on the yacht.
Atlanta. Oh no, the yacht thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he was just like, this is Jamie and one of her new things, she's trying to hit it. So
Yeah.
um when I did it, he's looking at me like, this girl really did this.
Incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible. You know what? I truly believe, and I'm not going to speak too much on this because I'm not no prophet or nobody, like that. But I do believe that there are many times where God will use, I mean, we know this, like he'll use things like whether it's sickness or whatever it is to kind of bring things back. Like God uses like basically any and everything, like the scripture in the Bible, all things, work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And I love it so much. And one of my old favorite scriptures when I was younger was the goodness of God leads men to repentance. And when I was younger, I never really understood that scripture because I was like, yo, every time I repented, it felt like bad stuff was happening. It made me go and repent. I was like, so
Yeah.
how's that the goodness of God? But then at one point, what I ended up realizing was, yo, whatever leads me back to God was a
Mhm.
good thing. So it was the goodness of God, whether it was sickness, whether it was me about to go to
Yeah.
jail, or me going to jail, or a variety of things, me being poor, me having money and me doing stupid things with my money. And so it's a variety
Yeah.
of things that God has used to bring us back to him and back to the things that he deems that are good. And which of course we know marriage is good. God blesses marriage and says that's a good
Mhm.
thing. So of course, we definitely pray for a speedy recovery for your husband, but also we
Yeah.
praise God that He used that to bring things back together. It's such a beautiful and appropriate season, and so I love
Yeah.
this. I love this so much, so
Yeah,
much.
so many amazing, there's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
I'm also working on the biggest real estate deal of my career right now. So it's
Woo!
just leaking all over the place. So I'm excited.
Come on. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm so hyped right now. I love it. And obviously I titled the lie. I always title the lie from this to this job in tech. And so, but the beautiful thing is that, of course, we know that being in real estate or being a realtor, a real estate agent is something that you can do even while you have a job. And but I
Mhm.
believe, but the tech industry, I believe, is probably it's the best industry to have something else you're doing
Yeah.
outside of your job because of the freedom. I definitely want to redo this with you because I want to kind of go a little deeper into the weeds. One question I will ask is: Are you working remote?
I am. So
Yeah, lovely.
that was one of the things I wanted to jump into Kaseya, right? There's a
Yeah,
lot going on in Miami, and I was like, forget it. I want to be there. I want to be in the middle of
exactly.
everything. And then I was like, hold up. You wanted the right scenario was I was homeschooling too. That was the other piece. So I had all my kids at home. Um, and I was like, you wanted a remote position, like I envisioned all of this and envisioned traveling and world schooling them and working in tech. Like there was this whole vision. And I was like, remember, this is your journey. It
Yeah,
doesn't look like everybody else's. You can't jump on every bandwagon. Focus on your journey. Like for you, this
yeah,
is where it's at. So yeah.
exactly. No, that makes so much sense. I love that so much, and I love that even though there's a great opportunity like you mentioned out here in Kaseya. Or with Kaseya, which is a company for those of y'all that don't know this, I'm doing a lot of hiring right now for tech sales, sales engineering, and cybersecurity positions. Um, one thing that I will say is I love that this worked out for you instead. It's really,
Yeah.
really incredible. Unfortunately, y'all, I do have to jump. I'm gonna make sure that this live, this stream stays up so people can rewatch this in the future. I do need to jump because I'm actually doing a 2.5 hour coaching, group coaching. For kind of helping people be able to expedite their process to break in tech or then be able to scale their salary. For those that are interested in that, because I do want to be mindful, because I know a few of y'all asked about it. I will drop it here in the chat. I think it's only going to go to YouTube though. But on LinkedIn, for LinkedIn, it's already in the description. So if y'all look at the description of this actual stream, you can actually see the link in there for you to be able to join. Full transparency, whenever I do my coaching calls, the 1 hour coaching call is $600, 30-minute coaching call is anywhere between 300 and 400. But this one's going to be a 2.5 hour group coaching call. And it's literally just $100. And so I thought it would make better sense to do this because Afrotech is tomorrow. Black Men in Tech just happened last week. After Afrotech, you have the Forbes Black event, which is the Black Forbes, which is connected to the actual Forbes. Then there is the Black Men Talk Tech Conference. There's the Culture Shifting Summit, which is another business and tech conference is coming up. There's about 7 different tech conferences coming up over the next month. And so I decided to do this so that way I could kind of help skill people up a bit, so that way y'all are good to go for those of y'all that go to these conferences, because all of them you can also do virtually as well. So anyway, that being said, I'm about to hop off this thing. I'm sorry, I literally almost forgot about dropping a link in here for those of y'all on YouTube. People gonna cuss me out like, Cyrus, you a liar. Drop that link. But no, I definitely want to run this back with you, Jamie, and just really kind of talk more about your story. Because this is like such a dope story. And I mean, yeah, like I mentioned, you're someone that I've saw for a while, and I love seeing you kind of keep your hand to the plow, keep at it, and seeing like God really bless you through all of this. It's dope.
Yeah, thank you so much for it's full circle, right? I got to see you on your platform and it's brought me this far and now I get to share the story and maybe help someone else.
No, and I know this is going to help a lot of people. I really know this will, and because that's the whole purpose of this is for other people to hear your story, because your story will bless people in a way that even my story wouldn't be able to bless people. So I know this is going to be really good. It's going to bless a lot of people. But again, we definitely need to do this back so people can ask you more questions live about your story, about your journey, all of that good stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in the chat for y'all right now. Oh, that is not the right link. Not the right link.
We're in Australia.
Yeah, I don't know, some country with my broken accent. All right, y'all. I just dropped the link. That should go straight to YouTube. Aside from that, I'm about to hop over onto Zoho because some people don't purchase, and I want to honor their time. So thank y'all so much for joining in. Jamie, thank you so very much for making this time. We got through all the technical difficulties on the back end that people didn't see.
Yeah.
But no, again, major congratulations. Let me know, like DM me this weekend. Like I want to know like what your first like half week is like at YELP.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful, lovely night. For those of y'all that are going to be joining in on the stream via Zoho, I'll see y'all there. Love y'all.